So talk Gary's family. I be back with another episode. I got Bobby with me, man. Tommy Suits from Lives of Wolves. Man, introduce yourself to my Talk Gary's family, Bobby.
What's up, guys? My name is Bobby Levine, aka Tommy Suits. Basically, I played the attorney in the movie Lives of Wolves. I'm the grew up in the hood, moved out, moved up, and basically kind of doing my stuff a little dirty on the side, but still maintaining that high-powered attorney. So check out the movie. It's a good one. It's a good one.
All right, so Lives of Wolves, man. It was basically shot here locally. A lot of it was shot here locally, and so a lot of my audience is local. But my goal is to get everybody outside of Texas and other states to be drawn to this movie. A very good movie. Let me ask you a question, Bobby. Being a lawyer of Malik, aka Mel Bowser, right? What drew you to that role of Tommy Suits? Like, what are you? Is that a part of your character, or was it hard to transform into that role? Or
Man, to be honest with you, the role kind of fell into my lap. I was in the music business before. I've been in entertainment a long time, but acting definitely was not something that I thought I was going to do. Thankfully, when Frank had written the role, he basically described me as a person. It's kind of, you got this, sometimes you come across a little cocky, a little arrogant.
Yeah.
But really, I think it's just more confidence. And so when I walked in and read the script, I was like, so basically, you want me to play myself?
Right.
And I guess wear nice suits all the time? I was like, deal.
So Tommy Suits, tell us a little bit about Tommy Suits and the character that you played in the movie.
Cool. So Tommy basically grew up next to Malik. He was involved in kind of all the same lifestyle that everybody else that you're going to see in the movie is. But I decided, man, I want to get out. I want to make some good money. I'm going to become an attorney, but I still get to represent, my buddies that I grew up with. So
Right.
I kind of play that part of, on one side in the city, I'm this high-powered attorney, fly suits, great, charismatic. But then I go home and I'm still partying with my boys, and I'm still involved in, in the dope life and stuff like that. So I get to play the best of both worlds, So
Yeah. So was it hard to kind of transform into that role? I know you just stated that it was like when reading the script, it was just like, man, this is me. But like did you get kind of like did the roles get meshed together? And because I know Mel's my brother, so I know that he tells me a lot about acting and how you become that person for that movie. You know what I mean? Did that kind of get messed in, or it was kind of like your character? That's just your character.
Yeah, I mean, it was. There were parts of it that were hard. It wasn't so much the matter of like playing Tommy individually that was hard. It's the consistency, that when you show up on set and when you're filming, you are that guy, and you have to believe that in your heart. So
Right.
For me, the hardest part was, you got to remember the words and all that stuff. I mean, yeah, that's tough, but I think being consistent in the role, and that way every time you're seen on camera, you're that same guy, and being believable, to where, and also being vulnerable, because there's times in the movie that you're going to see that, yes, I'm this cocky, kind of arrogant guy, but there's times that I'm kind of checked in the movie too. And so it's hard to accept that, and to try to, how do I take that? So, I mean, I think it was challenging, but it was, very rewarding at the same time.
So how did you and Malik build that character? I mean, build that chemistry on set? Because it looked in the movie, man, it looked like y'all just was like that was so believable. Like it was like y'all knew each other in real life all day, every day, grew up together. Like, how did y'all build that type of chemistry?
Man, to be honest, I think we both got really lucky that we vibed well immediately when we met each other. I think it was a lot of mutual respect. Also, we had a lot of lines and stuff like that. And I knew how hard it was for me. So I knew it was just equally as hard for him, even though he's got a lot more experience. But I think just like we just vibed well offset. So on set, it was basically like, man, I'm getting to do something with somebody I really enjoy being around as a friend. And man, I'll tell you, there's so much offset, just laughter and like camaraderie that was built off that movie that, like, we see each other now, man, it's like we're family.
Right.
And so I think it just happened quick. It was easy.
I mean, the movie is an award-winning movie, man. Kind of give us that timeline from when y'all finished shooting the movie and when it got produced. What happened after that?
So, the movie did take a while to make. One, it's privately funded. We didn't have a big bankroll or whatever. Everybody was donating their time. Everybody from behind the scenes to the actors. Nobody was paid ahead of time. So the process took a little longer than normal. And then also, once you get it done, then you got to go back and you got to be like, we're not working with the best technology out there. We're working with what we have, trying to make
Right.
the best out of it. So, there's a lot of post production that happens, and people don't see that. You tell people, oh, the movie's done. They're like, oh, well, it's going to be out tomorrow. But like,
Right.
no, it takes a long time. And then once it's done and final and everything's great, well, then you've got to go to distribution, which is a tough game. So that's what took the longest.
So did it? When y'all went to, you took the movie to a film festival,
Mhm.
right? And that was in Miami.
Yeah, I went to Miami.
Yeah. And it won Miami.
It did. Yeah. So went to the Urban Film Festival in Miami. I made a ton of movies that were up for, all kinds of awards and stuff like that. And that's being like the new kids on the block,
Right.
not knowing what to expect or whatever. But I think, went down there confident. We knew that what we had was a quality movie. Everybody put their heart and soul into it. And, we went back, came home with a trophy, and yeah.
Man, I watched the movie, man, and before I watched it, my brother was like, man, we didn't have, exactly what you said, we didn't have all the fancy technology, first time actors, but watching the movie, man, you really can't tell, man. It was pretty good. So what's the next steps for the movie?
Well, it's out now on a few platforms. Like I said, distribution is the hardest part of the game. We're slated to be out on Amazon Prime, Hulu, a couple others. The thing is that there are so many movies being produced and put out. They can only release so many. So, you fall into that timeline, you're in a queue. When the movie actually got released on Fossum, somebody sent me a video of me on TV. I didn't even know it was
Right.
out. So, it was crazy to see. Yeah, I mean, to get that text, I'm like, somebody got a bootleg? I was like, somebody sneaked into the theaters. We sold out the theaters. We did 4 shows, sold out all of them. And I was thinking in my mind, I'm like, somebody snuck a camera in or, a
Right.
phone and got it. And I was like, man, somebody bootlegged this movie.
Man, people still bootlegging, but so tell us a little bit about your background. You said you was in entertainment music, so tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I joined the Navy when I was 17 years old. I had no plan on what I was going to do. I just knew I wanted to get out of the small town I was at. And crazy enough, the stuff that happens in the movie, my childhood was a lot like that. Different scenario, different cast, but a lot of the negativity. So got out and transitioned through life and did things. And yeah, got in the music business. Basically, I wanted live music in the city I was living in. There wasn't enough of it. I found a way to bring it there, long story short. In the process of that, met some amazing artists, up and coming artists that needed help. And I didn't have a lot of knowledge, but I had a lot of motivation. I was, I loved music. I always have. And so became an artist management, new artist development, did some social media marketing, started working with, some of the biggest names in the business and became friends with them and just kind of rode that roller coaster until this came on. I'm still involved in music. I still, a lot of friends in the business, still help out with some shows and, stuff like that. But now I'm finding a way to blend music and television and movies to where I can hook up some of my buddies that are artists and trying to get into some soundtracks and stuff like that. So it's kind of a collaboration.
So you think from this movie Lives of Wolves, right? Because we got a lot of local talent here in Bryan College Station, and just watching that movie, man, I know a lot of them, and I was like, dang, he playing that role pretty good, right? With your connections and the people you know, it's a lot of it's college town, right? So it's some artists out here. I personally like country, I like pop rock, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm all across the board, rap, R&B, blues, but we got some talent here, man. And so you think that the platform you said with Lives of Wolves here for our community, you can tap into some of these boys?
Yeah. I mean, the movie is definitely going to open doors for not only people in the movie but for the community, which is great. I think the idea initially was let's bring something out of the community that puts eyes on Brazos. Bryan College Station. I mean, granted, A&M's here, everybody knows what it is, but there are a lot of people that are not involved in that, and I think that people forget about the amazing community that's here. And so I think like the youth up here, this town can see that, man, if a bunch of people who had no experience, know anything, can create a movie that wins an award and it was on TV, well then it kind of gives them the motivation to kind of further what they're trying to do. So I think if anything, if it helps one person, get out of the community and go do what they want to do and live their dream, then I mean we did something right.
Yeah, I mean, I had a a terrible background, right? I went to prison, uh, got out, started a youth football program. That was kind of my niche. But I feel like uh, touching those that circle of kids, it limited me, it limited my mind, limited my space. So I was able to doing this. I'm able to reach a broader audience in my community, more children. Because my thing is the youth,
Gotcha.
and so you hit on that, and when they see my change, when they see my change, it impacts them. And if I'm like that, if it just touch one kid and make one kid make a better decision, then that's my goal. With you guys in this movie, I think it would inspire a lot of kids to want to act. You know what I mean? I know my brother, man. When he said he was gonna go act, I was like, bro, you fit that perfectly. You've been a clown your whole life. You know what I mean? You've been an actor out forever, but he speaks highly of you as with this movie. He's like, man, Bobby a good dude. He really did well in this movie, man. So, like after the movie is after someone saw this movie, what did you guys want the theme, the message to be for you personally? Yeah. What would you think? What would you want the kids?
I think that for me, everybody always says like, you got to live out your dream, do anything you want to do to reach those goals or whatever. I grew up around a thing, you hear people say, fake it till you make it,
right.
And I think that sometimes people think about that and they're like, oh, think of it as, oh, you're being a fraud or you're doing whatever. To me, I think that for myself, I like to walk into a room and I like people to go, who is that guy? Like, why, there's something about him that's interesting, and why is it? And maybe I am not anybody interesting yet, but I do have goals of being this and that. And I don't think there's any problem with carrying yourself how you want to be treated, So I think that, hopefully with this movie that people that have had aspirations of doing something like that they realize that, man, this can happen. Work hard, stay at it, carry yourself like you're somebody, because you are. And, if this movie opens some doors for people, that's awesome.
So on the flip side, let me ask you this, Bobby. What do you think? Like, so I know me growing up watching Boys in the Hood, right? Watching Men's Society. That was my era. I wanted to be like Kane. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to be like O-Dog, and you know what I'm saying? So, I mimicked those things. So in this movie, man, what do you think? What would you say if some kids seeing that and were like, man, I want to be like Malik. I want to be like Stacks. You know what I mean?
Well,
and that's just looking at it from another perspective.
I think that, obviously you don't want anybody in your youth to want to be that person. So I'd say, if you see that, I think it's because, like in the movie, like these kids aren't going, man, I want to grow up and be a big drug dealer.
Right.
No, what they want is they want money, they want respect, the things that everybody wants. So I would say, watch the movie. There's no problem with having the aspiration of being that person, but you can do it in a different role. You can be like, you want money, you want respect, you want this. Cool. Find what your niche is. Obviously, don't run in the streets and do that, because at the end of the day, watch any movie. The guy who's the head drug dealer, this and that, what happens to those guys? It's not good. So I think that you can, there's nothing wrong with seeing somebody and respecting them. I love old gangster movies. I like, I'm Italian. I love that. So, watching those people and aspiring to have that kind of lifestyle is fine, but there's a different path in how you get to that lifestyle.
Right. Yeah. Man, you say you're Italian, man. The Godfather 1, 2, 3, all of them. That's my favorite movies.
Good.
I mean, but with this generation nowadays, man, like it's more, it's violence driven, as far as like gun violence, man. Right. It's bad. And I took from the message from the movie, man, exactly what you said. This kid wanted to come up to take care of his family. That was me. Mm-hmm. I had a kid at 15. So
the streets, I had 17.
The streets was what it was in the 90s. You know what I mean? I had to do what I had to do. I didn't have a mom and dad present in the home. So, having a kid at 15, I didn't know what the hell to do. You know what I mean? So I saw Malik in that movie, that role, and it was like, hey, that was me. I don't know what to do. I need to get on. I need to take care of my kid, I guess. And got wound up in those streets. But the message in the movie, man, I hope people don't just see the surface of the message in the movie. they see a little bit deeper in that movie. So what kind of things are you doing around town, man? What are you doing in your personal life that's
Well, I mean, I've owned a landscaping company forever. So, I mean, like my passion is, I love music. I love film and stuff now. I'm involved in some other projects. I've got to do some stuff like Walker, Texas Ranger. I'm got some stuff coming up. I'm going to get to do Landman. And, I've set in on some stuff and had some offers. So I'm excited. But, landscaping I've done forever just because I'm an instant gratification
right?
kind of guy. So dude, I will work harder than anybody but my goal isn't always to make the most money, which don't get me wrong, I love money. Everybody does. You
Yeah.
got to buy nice stuff. But like to work hard and see a finished product and then to see somebody pleased, like see a client that loves it, for me, that's super cool.
I'm a welder, man.
Yeah.
I'm a welder by trade, and just got tired of welding. I'm in sales now, man. Best career ever. I tell my kids all the time that get into sales. I wish I knew legal sales was this good. I work for Universe Corporation, but man, shout out your landscaping business, man. Hopefully, I got a lot of people. I need my backyard cut right
Hey,
now.
gotcha. Yeah, so I own a company called All Star Services. We're pretty well known in this area. I don't do any outside advertisements, so it's weird to even say that. My stuff is all client based. People talk about it, and they like my work and they pass it on. I also own a company called Revival Music Group. We did like artist management, new artist development, booking. We do events and help venues with music and stuff like that. So I'm still involved in that and I love it. And I constantly got my ear to the streets, man, looking for somebody that's coming up that just needs a little guidance and something. So I'm always open to listen to new guys and even if I can't help them, personally, I can point them in the right direction of who can
Right,
help them out. So
right. Opening up doors, man. When you mentioned like you wanted to be that guy that when someone walks in the room and you stand out, man, you instantly stood out to me when I seen you at Elevated. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, man. So I talked to my brother, like, man, who was the guy with the hat? He's like, that's Bobby, man. That's my dude.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So you did stand out, man. The hat, man. It's just it's the
It's kind
hat.
of become my staple over the years, man. It's like I've got a ton of them. Every time I go somewhere, it's just what I've kind of it's what I do. It's my
Yeah.
thing. So
what about the crew, man? The crew that you work closely with, Peter Truth, man. Shout out Peter Truth,
yeah.
man. Also shout out P, man. Yeah. P did a good job. GK Studios, man. He did a good job on the movie.
The behind the scenes stuff, people they don't get enough credit. I mean, for everything we did, they had to work over that. So I mean, you think about how many hours and days and whatever we put into the movie. He's got to go back over all that and edit it and whatever. I don't envy that at all, but I do appreciate it. And yeah, there's just the cast. Everybody in there is amazing, man. Everybody's talented. Some people really stood out that had never done it, and hopefully they fell in love with the craft, and they're trying to move on. I still stay in touch with a lot of people. Like I said, we really did become like a family. I mean, we see each other, man. It's like instant smiles. We're giving hugs or whatever, and and I hope that continues. And I wish the best for everybody involved.
So my show is Talk Your Ish, right? It's basically we're talking about anything, man. I like people to talk about things that other people are afraid to talk about, right? That need to be heard in the community, not just the black community, the white community, the Mexican community, everybody. I think a lot of people walk around with stuff balled up within themselves, right? That they want to share but can't really share. You know what I mean? So, could you share with us? Talk Your Ish, man. What's your goals? What's your dreams, man? What's your future? What you want it to look like?
Man, I'll be honest with you, like
what you want the world to look like. You know what I mean?
Oh man,
I need a lawyer like
as
you.
As far as like me and my dreams go, I mean, to be honest with you, like I never thought I'd be where I am today. Not that I'm saying I'm up here or I'm better than anybody. I just know I'm better than who I was yesterday.
Right.
So, with that being said, like I don't really focus on like me and my future. I take it day by day. I just try to find the positives. But man, as far as the world goes, it's just I'd like to see everybody just well enough in life that we don't have to complain about the price of eggs.
Man, come on.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, I mean, it's tough, man. No matter where you are financially, this world is crazy, man. And it's, yeah, dude. I sit in bed sometimes and I just talk about stuff I never thought I'd talk about. But like, I can't believe I spent that much on groceries or whatever. But it's like when you realize how out of hand things have gotten, it's like, if I would have made what I made, now, in the 90s, you were balling.
You were balling.
And now it's like, I wonder, how do people make it? I find myself thinking now, like when I go to eat somewhere or I go to a grocery store and the person cashes me out, I'm like, if I'm stressing about things or I'm worried about things, what are they like? Because I know they're not making the money I make. So I think, if anything, I'd love to see people just give back more, man. Be more involved in your community. If you've got it, share it. You know?
Yeah, I think, man, COVID era, man, because I'm a hard worker.
Right.
I'm one of them ones. I'm a welder, so I build with my hands, and I like to see my finished product, and I like satisfaction. I'm a salesman. I'm a B2B salesman of a UniFresh corporation, so I like to have my customers happy, especially locally. I get frustrated with my customers here because they rather spend 40% more on what they have, and I'm trying to give you the deal,
Gotcha.
right? So, man, at the end of the day, I don't see a lot of complaining. I don't complain a lot because I feel like whoever the president is, whoever the senator is, I'm still gonna make my way. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And COVID era kind of spoiled a lot of people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean,
You don't got a lot of blue collar hard workers no more, man. You don't got a lot of kids that have that work ethic.
they made it popular to be lazy. I
Right.
mean, if we're being honest, people have somehow found a way to be lazier and make more money. And for some reason, the way that programs have been put in place and stuff like that, we're rewarding people who don't necessarily want to work. I'm all for giving people money and giving help to people who need it. But when people find a loophole and they go, man, I'd make more just staying at home and blah, 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 blah. Well, somebody is working hard to provide you that lifestyle.
Right.
And so, I'm not knocking anybody for, their lifestyle. I grew up so poor, we couldn't pay attention. I mean, we were poor, but we were working hard not to be poor. The only thing I don't want to see is people complain about the situation they're in when they're not doing anything at all to fix their
Man,
situation.
facts. And I hear that a lot. The uninformed,
Mm-hmm.
the uninformed just jump out there with just different theories, and everybody. That's what I say. I tell everyone, the blessing of America is that you have the right to have your own opinion.
Mm-hmm.
You have the right to believe how you want to believe. You also have the right to lay your ass down and be lazy
Mm-hmm.
and not do anything and get swallowed up by the wheel.
Yeah, don't complain
Right?
about not having anything when you're not doing anything to
Right.
get it. I mean, you know, there's a lot of blame game. Everybody says, "Oh, if this was different, if this person wasn't here, it doesn't matter who the president. It doesn't matter who. Things are going to be the same. The only person that's going to change you is you.
Right.
Like, we're not going to get a new president all of a sudden. Like, oh, I'm not broke anymore. Now, if you're lazy, you're lazy. You're broke. You're broke.
Right.
Now, can things be put in place that make it a little harder to do so? Sure, but I realized a long time ago, the only person that's going to take care of me is me.
Exactly.
So,
And so that conversation right there just kind of brought it back full circle to the Lives of Wolves movie. Man, if you haven't seen the Lives of Wolves, man, hey, go check the Lives of Wolves out on Fossil. Uh, and so the thing is, in the movie, Malik, that was his thing.
Mhm.
I mean, I'm trying to come up. I'm trying to, be the man and to take care of my pregnant girlfriend, right? That's us, man. That's life, man. You know what I mean? Whereas on the flip side, Malik could have just went and got a job and worked his ass off, and not ended up in the situation he was ended in. I'm not gonna give the spoil. I'm not gonna spoil it, right?
Don't spoil it.
I'm not gonna spoil it
He
because
does have a good attorney,
right?
I'll say that. He does have a good attorney.
Yeah, he got a good attorney, man. I need him, man. He got my brother. Well, not my brother, Malik, not my brother. He got mail off, man. But man, I don't really got much else. You know what I'm saying to go with. Bobby, you got anything you want to tell my viewers before we check out?
I just want to say thanks for all the positive words that have been said from everybody. People look down on this whole situation with the movie and had things to talk, and it's just crazy now. It feels so good that, like, now that the movie's out, people are getting to see it, that we're getting a little reward for all our hard work. So I just ask, go out, watch it. If you see somebody from the movie, say hi, give them a little high five. I mean, everybody's looking forward to you guys seeing it, and yeah, just stay blessed.
I mean, I watched it. Man, it took me a while. I didn't even go to the studios. My brother invited me. Man, that movie is good. Man, I'm telling you, Lives of Wolves. Man, go check it out on Fossil. If you don't got Fossil, download the app on your Fire Stick, your phone, whatever. Man, check it out. Lives of Wolves. Man, if you need a good lawyer, Tommy Suits. is in
I'm
the
your guy.
building, man. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not cheap,
Hey,
but I'm good.
man, I appreciate you, Bobby,
Yeah,
for
yeah.
coming on, man.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Man, I look forward to any future, anything in the future, any kind of music, any kind of whatever. When you come back and talk to
Yeah,
my
no,
family,
definitely, man. I mean, I'll definitely. I got a few things in the works that I can come back and talk about. Right now, I can't really say anything because it's not locked in stone. But when it happens, yeah, I'll come back.
man, we might have a budget by then, man. I'll
All
be
right,
able, yeah, you know
all
what
right.
I'm
Hey, listen,
saying?
I'm easy to please. Give me some whiskey. Cheers, man. Thanks for having me.
All right,
Gotcha.
talk your ish.